Okay, welcome. Today I wanted to offer some reflections, just some updates about the documentary Boarding on Insanity. We're going to go live again on Saturday, and I want to talk a little bit about an article which is coming out about boarding school and the documentaries, some of the people who were in the film on Sunday. So last week you probably saw I didn't do a video or a post, and yeah, it was good to stop. Really important just to take some time off, just to read, to garden. I did some painting, so both some abstract painting that I've been doing for many years. This is one I did years ago, but that's one of my paintings. I found it very cathartic for my mental health and my kind of healing from childhood trauma in my 20s, and I still use it now, just connecting to my emotions, flowing. So I did some painting, and then also did some cleaning and clearing of the house, and did some painting of the house here as well, so the walls. So yeah, it was good to stop. So this Saturday, after a month break, we're going to put the film live again, so people can watch it, stream it, and also the extras as well. And our plan is over the next month or so to also put live the retreat film as well. And we've just got to do a few edits on that. But that's our intention. It might not go out, but that's our intention to do that. So yeah, that's exciting. We've had quite a lot of kind of people asking to watch it, and obviously, we needed a break. We've had the break, so now it's time to go back up again. And then on Sunday, so the Observer, which is the Sunday paper for the Guardian, interviewed myself and quite a few of the retreatants and some of the participants, contributors from the documentary, and they wanted to hear about their boarding school experiences. And so we shared our stories, and it's going to be in the colour supplement, the magazine, the Observer magazine, this Sunday. We believe, that's what we've heard so far. I'm pretty 95% sure that it will be there, but sometimes things change. I've had this before when I had an article a few years ago in the Sunday, I think that's the Sunday Telegraph, and I think it changed dates at the last minute. So I think that's the intention. So that's really exciting. That okay, more and more stories are getting out there about boarding schools, about the impact of them, and there's more and more kind of public discussion about this. And these last couple of weeks, as you know, I read a lot, and been reading some of Daniel Goleman's book, his groundbreaking book from 1995, Emotional Intelligence, and just really realizing, how boarding schools, they were an old model, an old paradigm, but, for the modern world, they have no purpose anymore. And I was just reading through here, and he's saying that at best, IQ contributes about 20% to the factors that determine life success, which leaves 80% to other forces. And there's a paper which I've seen, which they talk, those 80% are basically emotional intelligence. And why I kind of have this sense that these schools are kind of no longer relevant is that they don't teach emotional intelligence. They teach IQ, so they teach that 20%. So they have a purpose, but they don't teach that 80% of, right, how do I connect to my feelings? And the Dunedin study, which I've mentioned before, they followed 1,000 people over 40 years, and they worked out again, those that had the greatest life success were those who were emotionally intelligent. That was the biggest predictor. It wasn't IQ, it wasn't socioeconomic background, how wealthy your parents were, anything like that. It was all to do with emotional intelligence. And, as Nick Duffell says in his book, Wounded Leaders, he says, the principal effect of boarding is a problem with emotion. It's not only a survival tactic, but it's also consciously encouraged by the traditions of the school. So, I remember at my boarding school, we did not, show our emotions. And everybody I've heard or spoken to, I was like, oh yeah, you were shouted at if you showed your emotions or if you cried. And so that's not cultivating emotional intelligence. And I kind of finished this, but with just connecting to Cousins and Posner's, their book, The Leadership Challenge, which is basically the Bible for leadership. The last page, they say, love is the secret sauce, the secret ingredient of exemplary leadership, love. But we don't learn that emotional intelligence, that love in these schools. So I really feel, that we're moving to a new paradigm. We're moving to a place where we need to be emotionally intelligent. We have to connect to love and, to make changes, to become great leaders. So yeah, just some thoughts there. I'm sure I could go into more depth. Maybe I'll do a video about that later. But yeah, that's the intention. Film will go live on Saturday again. And then we're talking about doing some other showings, one in Scotland, possibly in June, July time, and then possibly other showings around the UK as well. So yeah, it's just getting that message out there. So please do share the film again. Let's share it with people and get the message out there. Let's start to change this. That we want emotionally intelligent leaders. We want heart-centered leaders who care about vulnerability in society. They care about the vulnerable and are willing to make change, because I really see this, that Britain doesn't take care of its children. It doesn't. Mandatory reporting is being pushed back again by the Labour government. I saw a letter from the one of the ministers just saying, no, we're not going to put through mandatory reporting. It's like, it's ridiculous. So it's just up to us now. We have to change. We have to do this work, and we are. And bless you for listening and supporting. And yeah, let's make these changes. And it's an exciting time. It is. So bless you for listening, and take care. Okay.